Hello and welcome to the Lift You Up show. I'm Three Crows and I'm hosting the show, and here we get to go.
Let us feel those feelings that were felt once before. Let me mend your heart that was once full. Oh, let us fix the issues that were left outside the door. Let us learn to heal rather than to ignore. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
Oh, I love that song. That's Sean Kosh with Lift You Up. Great to be here. I've already been doing 2 hours of recording tonight. This is a new show that I'm starting off. So it's called Lift You Up, and welcome. So who am I? Just because you might be listening to this show, you could be a new person that doesn't even know who I am. I'm Three Crows. I'm a shaman. I own a holistic healing centre in the Sunshine Coast called Inspirational Healing. I've been doing this for many years. I love what I do, and I have people always telling me I need to get myself out there. I need to, do what I can. So we've got so much that's been happening. We've been one of the lucky lot that even though with the COVID-19, we have been going through the roof. Obviously, people come to see us, not only to do with their healings, but also with how they cope with life. We go out as a group and people are just looking at us astounded. We're playing musical chairs and everything. We just live life. We love life. And this is what this show is about, lifting you up and showing our experiences to help you grow, help you evolve. So welcome to the show. My work is based on timeline therapy, counselling, spiritual counselling, genetic healing, past life. It's so diverse. I do a lot with energy healings, so I'm not going to do any of that weird wacky stuff. We'll have special guests come on over time and we might cover a bit of stuff, but this is all about increasing your lifting you up, your awareness. So the reason for this show is I like having special guests. I'm hoping that my good friend Kiana, Ella, if you're listening, you need to get down here. You need to do some episodes with me. So watch out when Kiana turns up. But I'm going to have people like Michelle Papik Fong. She teaches Reiki and does Believe in Power here. I actually work with her on that stuff. She's an amazing healer. I'm going to be having people coming from all over the place. Even my good mate Dallas Beauchamp, he's been involved in the music industry. He's an accountant, but he's spiritual and he's just lovely man. So I'm looking forward to all these guests that we're going to have as time goes on. So one of the things I want to add to this show is called How My Week's Been. So sharing with you of my experiences and how I grow should help you because, as I call it, the synchronicities. There's not going to be coincidences. I'd never ever want to use that word, synchronicity. See how what my experiences are, how I'm dealing with it, reflects on you. So let's talk about what's happening of nighttime. So I have clients coming to me all the time. I can't sleep. I'm having this dream. I'm having that dream. This woke me up. There's banging on the windows, banging on the doors. Is this happening to you? Is it happening to you? Do you hear your name being called out while you're sleeping and it wakes you up? And it sounded so real. Have you heard someone banging on your door? You got up, there was no one there. Have you heard people banging on your window? Is this happening to you? It is a common thing that is happening. I did an article on my Inspiration Healing page, and I think I even put it on my shaman page as well, and the response has been overwhelming. it is happening to people, and I have found that it's intensified. I actually got woken up the other night. It sounded like someone had tipped my recycling bin upside down and was walking through it. There was bottles clanging, and it sounded like aluminium cans being squashed. Now, I usually don't get up. I usually deal with it in bed. But this was loud. It was going on for a while. So I got up. Yes, I was awake and still hearing it. I went to the back door, opened it up. There was nothing going on. All right. Now, my instant thing was just to move the energy and not allow it to happen again. And I went to bed. Peace for me. This is what I do. I teach people how to do that. So, yeah, there's always something that goes on and people can't quite explain it. I'm not going to get into all that phenomenal stuff. That was my week, sharing it with other people, overwhelming responses. It is happening to people. It has been intense. So just say no. That's like, just say no. Push it away. Hopefully you can get some sleep. Otherwise, get hold of me on the Inspiration Healing page. I will give you some more details. So that's been my week, people. How's your week going? To cover things of what this program is actually about, I want to talk about love. Everyone loves love. But we're going to talk about it as in a relationship sense of boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever your relationship is, your partner. But we have what we call reactions. So reactions are what are detrimental to you in your daily life, is how you react. So even in your relationships and friendships at work, if somebody says something to you or does something, you react. Okay, you get triggered, you have a reaction. We want to get that under control for you and make your life better. Now, how do we do that? If we look at ourselves as the grandfather clock, and you know the big pendulum that swings from one side to the other. So if we look at when it's over to the left-hand side, that's an action. So that's what somebody's doing. Okay, and when it comes back across and swings to the right-hand side, that's you. Now, what you do with what has happened, what was said, this is your time. Now, you react, and the pendulum's going to swing straight back to them. Okay? Now, when it's over at your side, grab hold of the pendulum. Pause. Work out how you want to deal with this. How you want to reply. How you want to answer them, or whether you don't do anything at all. And then you just let the pendulum go. Now, if there's been no energy behind it, you not reacting, it goes back, but it loses momentum. Do you understand that concept? It's a very easy concept to follow. So, cause and effect, action and reactions, people are going to push your buttons. How many of you roll your eyes when your partner or your wife or husband, whatever it is, says something to you, you roll your eyes. They've hit that little trigger point. Now, whether they've done it on purpose or not are two different things that we're not going to talk about today. But what we're going to talk about is you being triggered to react. So even your children do it. I mean, they're always constantly testing the boundaries, aren't they? Oh, well, yeah, here I am, a single dad with 3 children. They're always pushing my boundaries. The big ones have moved out of home. But, hey, they love knowing where they can push to, what the extremes are. And me being a shaman, I don't actually, probably handle the situation as normal people do. I handle it differently, and they certainly try to push the boundaries even further. They don't have to lead my life. They're independent. They've got to make their own mistakes. So I encourage them to explore. I try not to encourage them to push the buttons for me. You know, there are certain malleable. If you say the boundary moves a little bit depending on what they're doing, but when it's firm, they know they've hit it. They actually know they've hit it. So reactions, actions, reactions. We have to get this under control. We have to get this under control because it's in your way. It's in your way. And if you're stuck in your ways, of how you're going to deal with something, it's going to be stuck in your way for you to grow, for you to lift yourself up. All right? And that's what this show's about, to lift you up, to get you growing, to get you evolving, to get you to a point of where it's easier for you. And we do that by going to the basics, and the first basic one is your reaction. So you got triggered. We're not actually going to look at how to stop the trigger yet. We're going to look at what you do when you know you're about to react. I mean, the first thing, which comes out so easily, is the reply, the witty comment, or the bitchiness back, the phrase back, when you roll your eye. Keep your mouth closed. Let that pass. Sometimes you're going to have to choke on your own words, but that stops the reaction. Have a look at the person. If they usually fish with you and you usually bite, just have a quick look at them when you didn't say anything back. Do they come up and say, "Are you all right?" Are they now checking up on you? Because you are acting differently. Your actions are different. Your reactions are different. This is how quick it can happen. But you are the one that has to make the choice to not say anything, to pause. And to give you yourself time, to actually think what you're going to do. Whether you're going to let it go, or you say something that's not nasty or not rhetorical back, that it's as simple as, haha, you got me. All right, we need to control our reactions. Now, I've got lots of experiences in my life that I can share with you, and I'm not going to get into the real deep stuff until we probably get into a few episodes, so you understand how I talk, because I do talk quite simply. I'm not going to use big words for you, because I'm no professor, so you're not going to get these big words from me. I use simple terms, simple analogies. It works for me. It works for me. It works for my clients. They understand me. It works for my students, my practitioners that study underneath me. It works. So I'm not going to change it for this show. I mean, I'm certain when we have some guests on here, we're going to get into some good banters. But the reactions, how have I controlled my reactions? Wow, I used to be stuck in my way so much. I mean, I've been divorced twice. My second marriage lasted 24 days, believe it or not. And I was stuck in my ways. I loved her lots. But the relationship was actually toxic. We tried to get together, break apart, get together, break apart, get together, break apart. It was so toxic. There was my part in that. And this is where I learnt to step out of my way. I had to grow. I had to react differently. I had to change what I was doing. And when I started doing that, I could actually see more. Now, my ex-wife wanted to meet up at a park to have a chat, and I turned up at this place, and she didn't turn up. And then I'm sending a message, where are you? I'm here, ready to talk to you. And no reply. So I went around to her place, knocked on the door. She called me in. Here she is. She's in the bathroom. Found her there and having a chat. And not only was I upset that she hadn't turned up, but here I am. I'm just trying to get some straight answers from her. Like, you wanted me to meet me there, and you didn't show up. And the thing was, I didn't confirm that I was going to be there. I had just said yes. You have all these little things and everything like that. Now, the old me would have started raising my voice, even though I try not to raise my voice because I want to be heard. All right, so that's the reaction of raising my voice. So I don't raise my voice. But in the end, I left. I said, listen, the conversation I'm trying to have with you, it's not working, so I'm going to leave and we'll talk about this later. So, off I went. Now, before I even got home, I lived 15 minutes away. Before I even got home, I've got text messages and phone calls because she now needed answers. She needed answers from me because I didn't react the way she is accustomed to. So she wants to come over and, have a chat. And before she even gets there, I get another message of, look, I'm coming over. All I want to do is not talk. I want to make love. Hang on. This has completely gone from where I wanted to. I thought we were actually going to be discussing something about us, trying to resolve issues between us. Now, all of a sudden, I'm back to this love pill situation, dangle the little carrot, this will keep you happy for a month. That's a whole different story. But me, again, I didn't react because I didn't want to make love. I wanted to resolve issues. I wanted to find solutions. I wanted to find answers that worked for her and worked for me. So I actually sent a message back, look, if that's all you're coming for, please don't come. In the end, she turns up anyway. Okay? She turned up anyway, and she really didn't really want to talk, but I did make it difficult for her. I wasn't in this just for sex, love making, however you want to put it. I need connection. I need to have communication. I need to, honour the person I'm with. And if I can't honour you for how you're behaving, how can you honour me back? So just my reactions on that one evening, that one night that led for her to come over here from initially not meeting at the park, I started seeing everything differently. There was other things that happened that night which showed me so much more truth of everything else that I was blocking out because I was standing in my way from the way I would normally behave. That was a massive growing point for me, because it wasn't much longer after that I was able to say, this isn't working for me. It's not going to work for me. Because I was changing, she was choosing not to change, because that's her choice. Okay? How she has been living her life, that's her choice. But now, where I was, I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't continue the same path. We were on separate paths, and that made it so much easier to go into finalising everything. Okay? It was a great feeling. But changing our reactions will change your life. That's how simple it gets. And we have a little break here. This is a bit of an ad for Inspiration Healing, based here on the Sunshine Coast at our new premises in Nambour, Suite 970 Curry Street, Nambour. Come along, book in for remedial massage, book in for Reiki healing, book in for clinical psychology, spiritual counselling, marriage counselling, holographic kinetics, shamanic law, timeline therapy, so much more. We have a great range of practitioners here. You can come along and see a psychic, see a clairvoyant, whatever you choose to do. Come along and just get into the groove, play the drums, play the djembe, just have some fun. That's what we're all about. So we're in the second part of our show. This is certainly a growing experience. I'm looking forward to actually getting into our podcast room. It'll make life so much easier for me. I've already said I've done 2 hours, and you just heard me cough. We don't edit this stuff out. We leave it in here. This is natural. It's raw. But I mean, I'm just doing 2 hours of recording, not only for the shamanic workshops that I do, but for other little things that I do. But 2 hours of recording, and we had police going off in the background. There was people slamming doors. So I'm looking forward to the podcast room getting finished, making it more professional for you. I look forward to hearing your feedback and as we grow and how we develop and get rid of different things. I mean, you hear me saying, but, I'm hoping to keep improving that as time goes by. I really look forward to your feedback on that. But the second part of the show, we've been talking about reactions and actions. The main one is reacting. And I've spoken about the pendulum. It's what you do, what the choices you make, and we have to choose to change it. We have to change our ways. If we're stuck in our ways, we're not going to change. And if we're not going to change, that blocks us. That is now stuck in our way. and we're set in our ways. It doesn't work, people. It doesn't work. And this past 2 years has been very challenging for everyone. I've seen so many friendships be dissolved. I've seen families being wreaked havoc. I mean, it's even happened to me. Everyone's had different points of views, and we have to accept other people's point of views. We don't have to agree. We don't have to agree. We don't have to change our point of view to acknowledge your point of view. We just agree that you've got a point of view and you're speaking your truth. You're speaking your truth. I accept you're speaking your truth. Why can't you accept me speaking my truth? So this is in reflection of how friendships and relationships work. I mean, it's not just with family. It's accepting what they're saying. And you don't expect them to change their view. I mean, there's been so much controversy in the past year with COVID-19, so many different points of views. Allow people to have their point of view. If it works for them, they're speaking their truth, allow them to be. But in that same reply, that answer back, that reaction back to that person that just said, hey, I accept for what you say. I don't have to agree with you, but I accept you. I accept you, and you're choosing to do this, or you're choosing that, or you're listening to this, or you're following that. It doesn't matter, but I deserve you to do the same for me. I don't want to convert you. Why do you persist in converting me? So we can have these rational discussions by not reacting. If we don't react and we communicate, this is a classic example. I sat there for 2 hours listening to this person of everything that I irritate them. Every little fine detail they could write down about how I irritate them, how I upset them. For 2 hours I sat there. I didn't interject. I didn't open my mouth. I listened to everything they had to say. Now it was my turn to talk. I didn't even get to speak for a minute without them interrupting. I didn't even get to another 5 minutes before they reacted to what I was saying. Now, when you come across that, you understand that you're in control of yourself and the other people aren't in control. This is the point we get to about if we don't react, you can see when people aren't in control. And it comes to being at work, being in a relationship, being with family, your children, your mother, your father, that if you're not reacting, you can actually see what's actually going on, whether they're doing it deliberately or they're not in control. That's another episode differently of not being in control. But that's the topic for you, that you'll see, you can hear, and you can feel you deliberately did that. But I'm not going to reply. I'm not going to react to what you've just said or what you've just done. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to give myself time to look at what just happened, let myself feel and how I feel about it, and then I can make an informed decision for myself without going into this reaction act of banter backwards and forwards, or swearing at each other or raising our voices at each other, that I'm going to stay in control of myself. I'm going to observe what you do. Now I can see that you're getting nervous because I'm just looking at you. Oh, look, you've just apologized for what you said. So when you give yourself time, you will see the other person acting differently because they didn't get the response of what they were actually trying to do in the first place, whether they were in control or whether they were doing it deliberately or not, is you will start to see them doing it differently. So you should be practicing this. Practice it to see the different outcomes that happen. It's amazing when you start to see the synchronicities start to occur of how you behave. because you're responsible for your life. You're responsible for your own decisions. You're responsible for your own actions. You're responsible for your own reactions. And if you can't take responsibility for that, well, you're going to be in a world of pain and a world of pain and a world of pain as time goes on, because you're living a false life, if you could look at that in that sense, because you're just manipulating everyone around you. You're manipulating, which puts you probably in the category of being a narcissist. So if you're a narcissist listening to this show, I'm pretty certain I won't be having narcissists listening to this show or get narcissists on this show. But that's another whole different kettle of fish. We're talking about you taking responsibility for your own actions, your own reactions, control of your life. If you can do that, your life is going to get better. And it simply starts with this, controlling how you respond. So the easiest way is you felt yourself being triggered, you know you're about to say something, pause right there. Just breathe in and out. One thing I teach people is breathe in and count for 3 seconds. Hold your breath for 3 seconds and exhale for 3 seconds. And while you're counting, you're not thinking about anything else, because when you count, you can't do 2 things at once in that line. Try it. You can't count 1, 2, 3 in your head and think about something else at the same time. If you can, please get to me. We're going to put some probes on your skull, and we're going to investigate that a bit more. But do that. Just breathe. That's a whole 9 seconds. During that whole 9 seconds while you're breathing and you're looking at them, they don't know that you're just taking a normal breath, holding your breath, exhaling your breath, counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 9 seconds of not doing anything back at that person. Have a look at them while they're doing it. And then you've got the choice to do it again. Breathe in, hold your breath, and breathe out. Very quick, very simple. Gives yourself time, and especially if you've been triggered and you're about to react, you've just given yourself time, and the energy that you're about to blurt out of your mouth has now calmed down, because you've seen what the other person is doing. You've seen if they're going to keep pushing you, and you're just looking at them, and you're just looking at them, and you're just looking at them, and then you get to say something very simple. Excuse me? How simple is that? So you can get control of your life. You can get control of your actions. You can get control of your reactions very simply, but you just got to choose to do it. Now, when you do this, life is going to get so much better. Life is going to get so much easier. I'm going to end the show here. Thank you for listening to me. I look forward to hearing some feedback. You will find the Lift You Up on Facebook. So it'll be linked on through there. You'll be able to reach all my pages. You'll be able to reach my Three Crows Shaman pages. You'll be able to reach my Inspiration Healing page, my Custodianship Ecology page. I've got so many projects going on. It's phenomenal. The new Instagram page will be coming up. The website will be here soon. Inspiration Healing is going through the roof. Looking forward to getting some speakers on here to banter with, because I love a good banter. If you've got a question to ask, put it on the forum, especially Facebook or Instagram. Ask the question. I'd love to do a show about questions that are relevant to my field. So ask a question. I'm really looking forward to Kiana getting here. Where are you, Kiana? Get your butt down here to the studio. This will be a great show for you to be part of. We look forward to talking to you next week. So, aho from Three Crows and from the Lift Up Show. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.